Hello and welcome to the video. Before we get started, if you'd like to provide input on future content and get our weekly newsletter, click on our survey. The link will be below. We also have a report on Ethereum 2, along with a bonus report on why you should learn Solidity now. Again, the link will be below. Now on to the video, and thank you. Okay. So today we're going to continue on with the Arweave discussion. And after experimenting with this for a bit, I think it gets a little confusing. You definitely want to make sure you have these requirements. This is correct. I think this gets confusing because what do you do with the tar ball? What I found that now you may need this for this is what you may want to put for your production, but for your development, I would follow these instructions under contributing. So you do the same git clone, but you can run StartDev, bin test, or shell will all compile everything. I would start with StartDev, and shell is going to run a shell. Bin test runs the test. Now, let me show you here. So, which is this? Okay, so I ran into some issues with the test. I think I got most of it to go, but I was able to run this shell, and that seems to still be running. Now, I probably should have started with the bin. I think I made it overly complicated by trying to follow the initial instructions. So we now have a running shell. Let's find that one. This. So you can see it did do the compilation. And then it analyzed, compiled, and it says now that the shell is running. So, and if you look here, let's look at this here. Ooh, got a lot of stuff going on here. Well, I do have, let's see. So I got, looks like, oh right, this is absolutely correct because what they tell you in the documentation, you should have two. So it is running. You got the, what does it tell you? Because one of them says metrics. This is slave, and this is a master. So they have a master-slave type configuration here. The other thing I want to show you is this is where I was running the test, and this is where it, the crash didn't tell me. So this is going to give you a whole bunch of information here of what's where. I was hoping to see some kind of error message that would tell me, give me some clues to whether it even means anything, because it could have been conflicted with the shell, which I had started running. One thing to be very careful about, if you try running something and then you stop it, do what I just did with the PS, AUX, grep, Arweave, and look and make sure before you restart everything that you've killed the stuff that you're done, that didn't work right, or that you want to stop, because sometimes it doesn't kill everything the way it should. So you can see there was not a whole lot of, so it's counter, internal. So this is basically dumping exactly what's going on. But I think you'd have to know a little bit more about the internals of this to really get a whole lot from it, unfortunately. What I do know right now is I got, in running the shell, I have the slave and the master running. I have, because I start a whole new dev, I have 2 of the SQL Lite. So this is also, I believe, what's used in Android, well, maybe both Android and iOS development, I believe. So we got something up and running here. Now the next step that we're going to look at is actually before I go there, let me bring the instructions back up so you can see them. There we go. First, and before we leave this page, I want to point out what they say. So it runs 2 modules, different ports. So let's see something. What would happen? What the heck? So you can see it's talking to it, and because it's just running locally, it's not. Let's see, it's not joined, but again, it's running local, and so there are no real blocks. We may want to start something with, I wonder if you can do something with mine or something, but basically it's just sitting around. In terms of creating a wallet, in order to do development, you do need a wallet, and they do discuss here how, is it? No, that's one of my, but that's a public, this is obviously the public thing need. Well, it is a Chrome extension, and that will allow you to create a wallet. They also say you can get a airdrop of a tiny bit of Arweave. Although these days you never know. I mean, if these things take off, well, you know, that little tiny bit that you got could actually end up meaning something later on. Especially since this could end up being possibly, we don't know what technology is going to come, but it could be the wallet. Okay, so, and there, I don't know where the instructions went, but maybe if I go back, yeah, this goes through, and you can see you can create a wallet, and you can manage it, and you can have multiple wallets, and so on. So that's where you get the wallet, and where you're going to need a wallet, we're going to start talking about, I have to start looking into this a bit more, SmartWeave. So it's very here's an example of hello world. And you have actions, hello world. So this is your initial state. And the way you, so let's see, contract source and initial state and a contract source. It's one handle and a signature. Here, contract handler. And they have some guidelines here, and they have their API. And they have plenty of examples on their site. And let me see, there is a CLI. Yeah, so you can install the CLI, and this is how you send the source and the initial state file. So you got your JSON file, you got your source JavaScript. You see here, JavaScript with the handle initial state, and that is how you will put it on the blockchain. The key file, of course, is the key file you create with your wallet, and basically that's also a JSON file that you need to keep safe, because if someone gets that, they could take whatever in that. So there are lots, and then you can interact with it. So we're going to be looking more at this. So anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, this is important. The input has to be JSON, which is cool because, again, JSON's very common language that we've seen before. We've used all over the place these days. So that should be make things very easy and allow you to put whatever kind of data you need to go in there. And then your handler will just process it. This seems very similar to Solana. So it's not surprising that they kind of go in hand in hand a little bit with, with some projects, with Metaplex and so on. So anyway, hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully I've given you some tips, and that will help you get started getting something running, from what I've been playing with. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will speak to you next time. Take care.